Good morning. It's Monday morning. Welcome. Welcome. This is the journey of Mela Lifestyle. My name is Camila Tibbetts. If you're new this week and you're just joining us, I'm a serial entrepreneur, and this is really started as my journey of launching a new brand, Mela Lifestyle. I have experienced scaling different brands in the past, but this is something with a business partner, but this is something I launched on my own that I'm really excited about. So originally these morning meditations started because I was taking you through the journey of my launch of the website. And the website's been launched and it's been awesome. But my heart around it was like, if you guys have been with me from the start, taking you through the journey, showing you what it's like to really launch a business, to show you what it's like to launch a brand, to take you through to the good, the bad, and the ugly, to really like remove the veil and really show you what it's like to be a founder. And I think a lot of times, because I have experience with other brands, like I've had success in that, but I was like, wow, it would be really cool to show them like the day to day. And so with Mela Lifestyle, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to be transparent, because a lot of times we see founders and we read about founders like on the mountain, right? Like once they've accomplished something, once they've sold the business, all those great things. But I was like, you know what, I'm just going to show them the real of what it's like. So the website has launched. You guys have been so responsive. Let me just grab some coffee because we have so much to talk about. This is one of the products that we sell. These are handmade ceramics, and I showed you guys last week and it was a great response. But it keeps going, right? Because just because a website launches and it's pretty, you got to get people to the site. So you gave me great feedback about what it's like and your experience in joining me every morning. You join me from so many different places. I love it. I have someone who's actually even like learning English, and he's like, this is so good. It even helps me with my English. It's so inspiring. So, what a way to translate just like a message of meditation, right? A message of purpose, a message of like vulnerability. I think that's great when I get messages from you. So because of your feedback, and I love it, I'm continuing with the meditations and to just show you what it's like. So Sunday, I don't know if you saw that we posted Self-Care Sunday on the Mela Lifestyle Instagram, and that Instagram is at MELA Lifestyle. That was such a great response. And my weekend was one where I kind of start my self-care on Friday, just because it helps me like quiet my mind and go into the weekend. So that was great. Like I did a hair mask. I made some really great food. I like my grandma. I remember as a little girl, like my grandma had this bag, and there was this thing called pink lotion setting gel. So she would have this bag, and she would have like her setting gel and her rollers, and like she would roll her hair with like these little rollers they put the tissue around them and then roll it. So even in that moment, like I washed my hair. I had this like bonnet dryer. And I text my cousin. I was like, my grandma's name was Mama Scott. And I text my cousin. I was like, I have officially become Mama Scott. It was so funny. But it was a great weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. Hope you were able to make the apple cider from the recipe that we shared. And really, things. So let's talk about the madness of a business, right? So a lot of great conversations that I have today. But one of the things is like we launched Mela website. What was it, 2 weeks ago maybe? But I incorporated my business like at the end of last year, right? Because the whole idea is that you want to get your business license, and then you want to get your resale license so that I could have all those things to buy product, because you just can't like show up and buy product like you walk into Nordstrom's and Target. Like you have, so all those things, I set the stage and all those things were taking place. But I got a letter from the government this weekend. Like, I got a letter from the government the other day. Like, I got a letter. And not only was it a letter, it was a certified letter. And basically what it was like, I owe taxes for last year but I just launched my business 2 weeks ago, actually selling products. So fun times, and those are the things that we walk into, right? Those are the things that's real life being a business owner, right? It doesn't matter the lives, the this, the that. It's like there are still some key things that you always have to put in place. So I want to encourage you with that today. If you're starting a business, if you're thinking about starting a business, make sure you incorporate, make sure you're talking to your accountant, make sure like you're reconciling your bank, make sure you're clear on what your profit margins are. What do I mean by profit margins? I mean, if I buy a product for $5 and I sell it for $20, like what's my profit that I'm making? And it's not only the profit that I'm making, that $15, but like all the expenses that go into that. So really look at that. Message me if you want to know some books or some tools on finding that out. So yeah, so this is real life Mela Lifestyle, right? It's like the tax thing. I got to call I'm like, what the heck? And it's New York specifically because I live in New York now, I don't live in California. So I want to talk to you guys about that. I want to talk to you about recharging over the weekend. I hope you recharged. I had a full weekend, but you know what I say, everything's always better with bold lips. So I was like, you know, I'm a little tired, but I'm just gonna put in a bold lip and it's gonna make it better, right? Those are the thoughts that I'm telling myself. It doesn't really mean it's true. And I was thinking about, you know, we started a little later on the morning meditations because I take the product and drop it off and ship it every morning. So I was on the shuttle and I was looking at my Facebook, and a memory popped up on my Facebook. And I'll post the picture later on this afternoon, but a memory popped up and it's just like me when I first moved to New York, and I had this huge smile on my face, guys. And it's like, in that moment, I had so much joy because in that moment, I think I had like a $5 beanie on that I got from a street vendor. And I had on like this Uniqlo puffer because I wasn't really used to having, I had jackets for like going skiing and holiday, but not like everyday jackets because I'm from San Diego. I remember I have on this, so I have like this $5 beanie on from a street vendor because my ears are cold. I have this Uniqlo jacket on. If you're not familiar with Uniqlo, it's just like a really cost-effective store. I don't know if they have them they don't have them in California, but just a simple jacket, right? And I have on a simple jacket and some jeans, and I'm walking through Washington Square Park. My daughter takes this picture of me, and I'm so happy. Like, I have so much joy. And in that moment, I was still in the middle of a divorce. I was still flying back and forth to San Diego, meeting with lawyers. I still was trying to settle my daughter at the time, who was in her senior year of high school. Like, I had all these things going on, and there were all these unknowns. But even with that, like, I had so much joy because I was a woman that had peace, right? I was a woman that, even though in the midst of not knowing, I was secure in the peace that I had. And I wanted to share this with you. So maybe like 5 years ago, I was at this boutique in Solana Beach, which is the area, and they had this, it's really ratty, but the meaning of it stays. So it says, she believed she could, so she did. And it's super ratty. Like, it's like, I have coffee on it. You know, they put it on a ribbon on the shopping bag. But there's something about this that I always kept with me. I think I've had it for over 5 or 6 years. So I always kept this with me, and I always would have it on my vanity in my restroom in my old house. And then when I moved, I share with you guys, when I moved to New York, I had to really get rid of a lot because it wasn't going to fit in a small New York apartment. I brought this with me, you know, and when I moved into my apartment in New York, I kept this on my, I keep this with me still. And when I'm at my desk, when I finish the live, I'll keep this with me still. And really what it's saying is that this person did it because she had belief that she could. And so when I look at that picture, like when I look at that picture of that woman, like in the Uniqlo puffer and the beanie in Washington Square Park, not knowing that there was going to be a pandemic, not knowing that there was going to be all these things that were to come, this woman had so much joy. And like, I'm that same woman today. Like, I have so much joy. And so I think I have that, and I'm confident I have that because of the equipping that happened with me along the way. And so that's our first meditation this morning, is to be equipped. And so, you know, you guys know, like, I'm kind of a nerd and I love definitions. So I looked up the term equipped, and it means equipped to supply with the necessary items for a purpose. Okay, 1, to supply with the necessary items for a purpose. The key word is that is for a purpose, right? Second definition is prepare someone mentally for a situation or task, right? So like, we are being equipped right now. You are being equipped right now. That you may be at home, you may be on lockdown, you may not be, you may have screen fatigue, but I am confident that you are being equipped in a way for a specific purpose. And you're like, Camila, I don't have a job. Like, Camila, I'm supposed to be in school right now, and I'm taking my classes on campus, and I'm taking my classes, you know, at home. Camila, like, I'm living with my parents. I had to move back home and live with my parents. Camila, like, I'm a creative, and all the jobs that I had or being on set, those aren't anymore. Like, Okay, all those things are true. Like, all those things are true. But there is an equipping that happens inside of us when we're being prepared for something. And do you know why I know that? Because when I was in San Diego and I went through like these mini trials, I was being equipped for a purpose, right? I was being equipped for a situation. What was that situation? That situation was to be able to transition as a single woman across the country to New York City, right? That situation was being able to transition into being independent and taking care of myself emotionally, right? That situation was a transition into finding my voice. And it was really a transition into launching Mela Lifestyle. And so when we think about starting a business, I always say that, you know, the brand or the business is always going to grow or cap at the level and development of the leader, right? Like, or of the founder. Now, it can still, and I'm not saying grow in terms of financial, I'm saying grow in terms of influence. And so what we're doing is we're really looking at what type of influence can we have in the areas of our life. Like, what is your sphere of influence and how can you pour out? And in order for you to be able to pour out, there needs to be a level of self-care, right? There needs to be a level of belief that you can do it. And there needs to be an equipping, right? That you have those necessary items. So every morning on our morning meditations, my hope is that I'm giving you the necessary items to aid you, to accompany you in your equipping of what your purpose is. And you know, we always talk about like, your purpose is not my purpose. Like, his purpose is not her purpose, but we all have a purpose and we all are being equipped in the moment. And so that is, that's our first meditation this morning, is like, definitely you want to be equipped as a leader. And as soon as you're equipped as a leader and you have those tools, then that pours over into your business, into your sphere of influence. The next meditation is over and over. And I think about that because I listen to this song and it says, you know, over and over again. Like, the genre of the song is neither here nor there, you know, whatever. But over and over again. So when we think about an equipping, right? Or we think about, you know, I have to, over and over, I'm waking up every morning. Like, over and over, I'm making these cold calls. Like, over and over, I'm going out and I'm putting on this mask. Like, over and over, I'm washing my hands. I would encourage you that over and over, like, there is an equipping happen. Like, even when you're fatigued, over and over again, you're gonna stand up strong. Like, even when you get that no, over and over again, you're gonna rise up and come back and ask in a different way. Over and over again, when you feel like you're uncomfortable or you have to find a voice for a situation, over and over, like, you will find that strength. And so that's what happens. Like, over and over again, even when things don't go my way, over and over again, like, even when I don't understand, I can show up, even when it doesn't make sense. And so that's the equipping that's happening, that every time you continue to show up over and over again, even in the midst of that unknown, you are being equipped, right? And so that's what I wanna really encourage you with. So again, what are our two meditations today? One is that, like, there's a clear equipping, right? Like, that you're being equipped in who you are as a person to be able to equip your team, your leader, your organization, like whatever you're gonna launch or whatever, like, you're in the process of launching. And then over and over again, like, you're gonna show up even when it doesn't make sense. You know, I had a really wise friend that told me, how do you walk with a dove on your shoulder? And the answer is very gently. And so that's what we're doing, right? If you can just imagine that very gently, you're gonna walk throughout these situations over and over again. And very gently, you're gonna be equipped. And very gently, like, you're gonna gather the wisdom and the tools of knowing how to lead, how to grow, how to scale, right? And so it's over and over again, right? Over and over again, we keep showing up day by day, and that is the power. And what that really is, like, over and over as we show up, even in the midst of unknown, that's like perfect presence, right? Because if you think about it, this is when I get a little hyped. Gotta sit up. So if you think about it, that's when I show up for the people I love, or when I show up for my team, like, I have to show up with a certain type of presence, right? And my presence isn't really about sometimes what I'm saying. My presence is about, like, my complete attention to that person, right? Or my complete attention to the team, or my complete attention in what I'm hearing. And so if we're being equipped and we're having the tools for the task, then over and over again, like, we can have a presence to show up for the team, for the people, for the company that we're leading. And so those are 2 meditations this morning. Definitely you are being equipped. You're constantly being equipped, and over and over we show up, right? Over and over we show up for the people that we care about and for the people that we are called to lead in whatever environment you're in. So thank you for joining me this morning on the journey to Mela Lifestyle. And remember, it's more than a lifestyle, it's a movement. Ciao for now. Bye.